It was arguably the story of the year in the Big Ten this year. David Braun thrust into position as a head coach in an interim spot. All he does is win 7 games and get them ready for the Las Vegas Bowl. And now he's the full-time head coach. This is his first ever signing day as a head coach. And David Braun is joining us now. David, how does today feel compared to how you thought it would feel?
You know, I didn't know how I thought it would feel. It's exciting. We're in Las Vegas. Different time zone. A lot of guys from the East Coast that signed today. So staff had our alarm set at around 3:15 this morning, and we were together at 4 a.m. and exciting day. A lot of excited guys to be a part of what we're doing moving forward. And it's a special day, and especially when you get an opportunity to combine it with all the excitement that's going around our program and the prep for the Las Vegas Bowl, along with a bunch of young men that are excited to start off their careers at Northwestern.
Describe to me what your recruiting philosophy will be at Northwestern.
We have to find our kind of guy, and the right fit. The landscape of college football is rapidly evolving, and we have to lean into being a developmental program. So it's got to be, first off, high character, intelligent, a young man in a family that value a Northwestern degree. But at the end of the day, a bunch of young men that want to be fully developed, that love the game of football, that are tough, and are going to find ways to reach their full potential. We're not concerned about necessarily where a young man is at when he arrives on campus. We're concerned about where he's going to be 24 months after he arrives on campus, and that obviously requires certain athleticism and skill sets, certain dimensions, length and height, frame, all those things that we look at. But those things do nothing if you don't have the right person, if you don't have high character, toughness, and guys that want to be pushed and developed. And we're looking for our kind of guys that want to be here for 4 years, get their degree from Northwestern, and are really passionate about the game of football and want to reach their full potential.
You are bringing in a quarterback from in-state, the western part of Illinois, Ryan Bowe. Tell me what stood out about him.
A lot of things I just talked about. It's really interesting. I've recruited the Chicagoland area for over a decade now. I was doing it in my time at North Dakota State, really passionate about the Chicagoland in terms of the quality of football, the quality of coaches, the quality of student athletes that come out of that area. I've known about Ryan for a long, long time. I thought North Dakota State made a great decision, to offer him. And, he was someone that we were keeping an eye on, and in the class when we didn't have a committed quarterback, someone that we went back on and really evaluated thoroughly, and just feel really convicted in, his football acumen, his understanding of the game, his competitive spirit. He's a multi-sport athlete, has the ability to extend plays with his feet, and was incredibly efficient this year. A lot of touchdown. The touchdown to interception ratio was really impressive. He comes from a great program. He's the type of young man that you want leading your locker room, want leading your offense, and will take command of a huddle and get people to rally around him.
We talk so much nowadays about the transfer portal in college football and its impact on the game. But I remember this summer talking with the basketball coach at your school, Chris Collins, and he was saying, honestly, Mike, it's really hard to use the transfer portal at Northwestern because of logistics, of academics and schedules, etc. How do you plan to use the transfer portal in football at Northwestern?
Very strategically. It's going to have to be the right guy. It's going to have to be guys like Ben Bryan and AJ Henning that are great fits, and the timing meshes up in terms of the potential grad transfer. We got a little bit more of a window right now with some extra COVID years to maybe, find the occasional grad transfer that has 2 years left. But at the end of the day, we're never going to be, a heavy transfer portal operation. It's just finding a few select guys that are the right fit to plug some potential depth issues or, issues where we need immediate help. But the way we win and the way that we find a way to compete for Big Ten championships and win a Big Ten championship is by developing guys, keeping guys together over the course of 4 years, and really building an incredible team with guys that are able to reach their full potential. And I think when you look at this class right now, you see a lot of guys that, some may say, where is he from, or he's under the radar. We have to dig deep. We have to really get to know these guys. We have to be thorough in our evaluations, and You know, the transfer portal will have to be a part of it on the back end, but we better be locked into our high school recruiting to be successful here.
David Braun, your first signing day at the end of your first season when you became the Big Ten Coach of the Year. By the way, that's the bar. You're expected to be Big Ten Coach of the Year every year now, just so you know. You're 1 for 1. We expect that percentage to stay there, okay?
Hey, I appreciate your belief in me, Mike.
Congratulations. Good luck in the Las Vegas Bowl, David.
Thank you.
All right, here's a look at the commits by state. Again, this is a small group. That is very expected when you have a brand new head coach. It is tough for him to get players in. Next year, these numbers are going to look very different for them. But we asked you guys to look at the players who are coming in. Give us an example of 1 or 2 that stood out. You went after their highest ranked guy, who's the only guy in the top 1,000 ranked nationally.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I took the low-hanging fruit, but he's one of those 3 Illinois guys. Patrick Schaller from Glenbrook North, really outstanding high school player. Schools recruited him on both sides of the ball. Could play defensive end. Northwestern's bringing him in as a tight end. 6'6", 240 pounds. I think they did have to quietly hold some schools off that tried to come in on him towards the end of the process. They did a good eval job here, offered him early, started recruiting him early, got him on campus early, and that paid off in the long run. I think he's going to be one of the best players, if not the best player in this class. They also did a good job coming over and recruiting Idris Cotton from Plymouth in Michigan. He had some other action. Duke recruited him heavily. Some other schools did also try to come in as a senior. I thought he made a big jump from junior to senior year. Some schools tried to steal him, but he felt really good about Kurt Anderson and the offensive line tradition they've built recently at Northwestern. Who wouldn't? But I think he's a really good pickup, a really good athlete. And then Callan Campbell, they went all the way up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and found him. Another really good eval job. He wasn't heavily recruited at the time that they found him. Plays with really great motor, is an explosive athlete, strong, physical, still has room to add some weight and can play up and down the line of scrimmage. But I think he was a really good find by them as well. So good eval jobs up and down this class.
Tito Williams, outstanding safety. And I think you talk about guys that you can develop. I think he is the type, right, that can play center field, make the plays when he needs to. He does a great job of reading, understanding the coverage. But you saw he's willing to make tackles, come down and be physical. It's about developing players. He's clearly the right fit for him. Did a nice job of dipping that shoulder and finishing at the point of attack. I think it's really going to help his team early.
You talk about fit, Howard. I love the fit with Troy Regovich in Northwestern. 6'5", 270 pounds from Lakewood, Ohio. So at 270, that allows him position flexibility. He can play a 3-tech. He can play a 5-tech. He can be the weak side defensive end. That's extremely valuable for a team like Northwestern. And what you notice on his tape, he has real powerful hands. You want to see your defensive linemen shock the opposing offensive linemen, snap their head and neck back. That continually pops up on his tape. I don't think he's going to be a true edge, a true speedy pass rusher, but he could be a valuable piece for Northwestern's defensive line.
What I liked hearing from David Braun is he knows what he's getting into. This is a developmental program. And you look back at the long run Pat Fitzgerald had, they had 1 player in the top 100 nationally. It's just going to be rare for them to get players like that heading to Evanston.